Hello, everybody. I want to talk to you today about making a macaroni and cheese recipe that you're going to bake in the oven, and it's going to feed quite a few people in your family. And don't worry about leftovers because they are absolutely going to go nuts over this recipe. Now, first off, when I measure out my ingredients, this is actually cheese sauce that I have melting. But I am going to tell you what all is in it rather than measuring everything out one thing at a time, because most of you probably know how to measure stuff with measuring cups by now. Another thing that I like to use is these jars that have the markings on the side, because you're going to take a half a cup of flour, put it down in the bottom of your jar. Then you're going to need 2 cups of your half and half, and also 2 cups of milk. Take the half and half, put it in with the flour, put the lid on, shake it up really, really good, and then put that in your saucepan. Then you're going to go ahead and take your 2 cups of milk and 2 eggs, and you're going to mix that up really good. Make sure you got the lid on really good, so it's not splashing out. Mix that all up real good. You're going to put all that in there, and what you're going to do is you're making a roux. And you want that to slowly get thick. While you're doing that, you're going to take 1 stick of butter, which is a half a cup, and you're going to melt that slowly. Then you're going to add that to your mixture that's starting to get thick. Then you're going to take dry mustard, and if you don't have dry mustard, you can use any type of mustard. If you like the yellow mustard, or you like the spicy mustard, anything like that, you can use it instead as a substitute. But you're going to put maybe about a half teaspoon of that in your mix. Then you want a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper and about that much salt, and maybe a little more salt. I like the kosher salt. It seems to be a little bit better. And some people like a pinch of nutmeg in it. I don't. I use a pinch of garlic powder instead. So I do mine just a little bit different. My family really likes garlic and onion salt, so I will add about a 1/4 teaspoon probably of both. And then also a teaspoon of the Worcestershire sauce. Anyway, you're going to stir all that up. And as it starts getting thick, then you're going to be adding your cheese. If you cannot find sharp cheddar cheese, because I had a really, really hard time finding the sharp cheddar. I could find the mild cheddar that was grated. However, I found the sharp cheddar in slices. You can use the sharp cheddar slices and just cut that up, and it'll be like shredded cheese. Different people do it different ways. Some people use the sharp cheddar with a little bit of Velveeta. My recipe's a little bit different though. I use about a couple cups of the sharp cheddar, and then I use a couple cups of the mild cheddar. I mean, it sounds like a lot of cheese. And then there's also a cup of Swiss cheese. And then I use a cup of the Italian cheese. And you're going to take all of this and you're just going to add it slowly to the mix, and you want to heat this on low. You're going to take your sweet time, and you are just going to make sure that that is getting nice and melted, because this is what you are going to be pouring on your macaroni. I got my water boiling over here, and to this I'm going to add about 1.5 pounds of macaroni. Once the macaroni is done cooking, then I will add it to this cheese sauce, and then I will get back with you on the video. Hi again. While my macaroni is still cooking, I want to overcook it a little bit, because that's going to make it a little bit more rich and creamy when I put it in that cheese sauce. I thought I would just show you some of the ingredients a little bit, so that way it's easier when you decide you want to fix it for your family. But I just use the El Cheapo garlic powder and onion powder. And of course, instead of the dry mustard, I substituted the brown spicy mustard, because we really like that at our house. And then the Worcestershire sauce, that's optional. If you don't want it in there, don't put it in there. It's not going to change the flavor that much, but it gives it a little bit of a kick that I really like. So here's the mild cheddar. And if you want to keep in mind, if you buy the little 8-ounce packages, like this Italian blend that I used, the 8-ounce packages are 2 cups. So you don't have to measure. You can just tear it and throw it right in the bowl. If you use the Colby and Monterey Jack, however, and you buy the 1 pound, you're going to remember that's 4 cups. So you don't need that much of that. So same way with the sharp cheddar. I think, if I remember, that was a 32 ounce, or a 2 pound package. And I wanted the sharp cheddar, so I used a full pound, and then I sliced it really thin, so it made slices for me, and it helped to melt that up better. And you really want the sharp cheese, especially if you're going to mix the other varieties. So just mix it up to where you have about 5 cups of cheese total. So whatever fits your liking a little better. There's not a right or wrong to this. Hi everybody, I'm back, and I'm getting ready to go ahead and stir this all in. I have drained my macaroni because it was done cooking, and I have stirred in the cheese sauce, and now I'm mixing it all up. And I like to use a pretty good sized pot for this. Usually the pot that I use to fix the macaroni in works wonders, because this is one of those double boiler pots that has a strainer, and I can just drain the water off and save that water to water my plants later, and have the macaroni all nice and strained, and then I can use it to stir whatever I have to stir, and I don't have the mess all over the place. And you're going to want a fairly good sized glass or roasting pan for this. This recipe is going to feed about 10 to 12 people, so you can cut it in half when you don't have that big a family, unless you like a lot of leftovers. You can also freeze it. Some people make it the night before and then bake it. But if you make it like I'm doing now, once I get this good and stirred up, I'm going to pour it into this pan here, and I'm going to be baking it with the lid. And of course, I have greased this. It's a good idea, especially if you're going to use a glass baking dish to go ahead and grease it. Some people take melted butter when they get all done and put some melted butter on the top and let that sink in. Some people use the Pancro breadcrumbs and put that on top. I've seen people take the fried onions and layer that on the top and let it bake. Some people take potato chips and crunch them up. But we like to just let it bake the way it is. And you're going to bake it at 350 for about 20 to 30 minutes. So today what we're having for lunch is going to be this baked macaroni and cheese. I've got some pork bacon in the oven in a mushroom soup base. It's a chicken and mushroom and celery soup base. And I've been baking that for an hour. And then I'm going to make cream peas. And that's going to be our lunch for today. And then later, we're going to get ready to watch some Super Bowl fun. So anyway, when I get this out of the oven, I will return and show you what it looks like. Well, I've just taken it out of the oven, and you can see that it's still bubbling. So I would let it set for a little bit because you don't want someone getting something in their mouth so hot that they're going to burn themselves. Another thing that I forgot to mention is sometimes it does like to boil over when it's baking. So make sure that you either put a piece of foil underneath it when you're cooking, or make sure that you line the bottom of your oven because you don't want that mess all over in your stove. And that's what the finished product will look like. So I'm going to let it set for about 15 minutes. And then I will call my gang and they can come and eat and feast upon dinner. I will show you. There's the pork. And there's the cream peas. You guys have an awesome day. We love you. We appreciate you. And thanks so much for watching.